geographic location-based crucial part in language variation and the emergence of dialects. That is, when speakers of the same group are geographically apart, it is more likely that they use the language differently, either in Bahasa Melayu or English. But it depends on where you live. Like me, I live in Seremban, Negeri Sembilan, and I noticed that Seremban people would speak in standard Malay rather than Negeri dialect, except the suburban area like Kuala Lumpur, they will use their own dialect more. And sometimes a collision of language occurs between the regions. For instance, uncle means nama in standard Malay, and uncle means ill or unwell in the English dialect. So the conversation is likely to perplex many speakers, and because of this collision, social exclusion happens when they can speak, when people can speak in their dialect, and some will badmouth you in their dialect, and it happens mostly between the elderly, from what I had experienced. So it is not completely wrong to use dialect rather than standard form, but language performs social roles. It is important to consider a language social and political roles. So discriminating people for not understanding your dialect will be a waste of time. And in SDG 16, promoting peaceful communities is crucial to build a sustainable society. For example, elimination of the social exclusion because of regional dialect usually brings a positive impact to the society. So I will move on to the next panel.
Thank you. So from my view of point, social dialect is affect the vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. So for the first one is pronunciation. We may face a different pronunciation if we move outside our own state, such as the spoon, such as fish. In Bahasa Melayu we call ikan, but in Terengganu we call ikan, and in Kelantan we call ikan. So that's for the pronunciation. The next one is vocabulary. So if we meet someone, such as my own experience, my friend is from Kedah. So they said to me, can you please take kamcha, which is spoon in Indonesia. So that is the difference between every social group. Okay, so for example, if you look at our textbook, we have the graph. In the top is high class, which is standard English or standard language if in Malaysia is Bahasa Melayu, and the lower class is the locals dialect. So quality education is an important thing for us to connect with each other, either in Malaysia itself or other countries. So that's all from.
Thank you, Naim, for sharing your opinions. Well, respectfully, I have my opinions. Well, for me, the biggest factor is gender. You know, when we look back, men and women are assigned to femininity and masculinity. Although it might seem a bit relevant and irrelative towards language, but it actually has a close tie with our expression we use in language. Well, for example, for women, they have, in terms of language development, they have more vocabulary on emotional and relationally. So for women, they have they view talking as a way to communicate emotionally with people. But for men, on the other hand, they tend to suppress or hold back their emotions. They don't express themselves through language because they prefer to express themselves through actions more than words. So this is not generalizations and it's not applicable to all individual men or women. Of course, it depends on the individual. But based on mental health institutions, men have higher rates of suicide because they don't express themselves well. So why? Why this happen? Well, from my own experience, I believe that this came from the toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity is when you have. Since I was there, I've been doctrined to believe that men's supposed to be tough. Men are, you can't show any weakness to other people. You have to take responsibility. Of course, you have to take responsibility. But we need a way to express ourselves more. This is aligned with SDG goals, which is gender equality. Men need more platform to express themselves. That's all from my view. What about you, Nizam?
So that's a good explanation for this. But for me, age also playing a big role in social factor. For language usage, youngsters like us often to use slang. For example, when we are bored, we say Isham do, like that. But it is different from elders because elders normally they just say straightforward words. They don't use a slang. They just say bosan instead of Isham. So as for formality, youngsters use often to use informal words. For example, when they ask about situation, what happened, right? They will asal ni, asal do. But for others, they just say using formal words, which is apa yang jadi ni, kenapa ni, to say what happened. So based on my statements, it is also can be related with the SDGs, the 10 SDGs, which is reduce inequalities. So these disadvantages are exacerbate in other age due to ageism and also age discrimination. So that's all. What about you, Ayman?
So thank you, Nizam. Personally, I am quite amazed with the points given by BIK104, which is KHAIRUL. But what if I say not only men and women have problems? What if I say children are facing violence? What if I say that ethnicity plays an important role in this issue? Did you know that 1 billion of children are facing emotional abuse? And we can say that every children is dying every 5 minutes. So I'm going to talk about ethnicity. From my personal view, which is my experience, since my childhood, my first language is English language, and both my parents are Indian Muslim, and so is I. When I started going kindergarten, my friends humiliate me and make fun of me because I can't really speak fluently in Malay. However, not only for my friends, even the teachers humiliate me because I am from other ethnicity, because I am Indian Muslim, for example. And this is quite hurtful for me for time after time. So not only this happened to me, I believe that in my state, Chinese and also Indians have these issues. Based on the SDG, which is SDG 16, based on peace, justice and strong institution, it emphasizes on how important children violence should be avoided. And violence are happening without any boundaries of culture, class, income, and most importantly, ethnic origin. So my solution is we must change the education system. We must change the teachers. And we should promote a peaceful society for every one of us without even knowing their ethnicity, because we living in Malaysia, which is a multi-racial country. So now, how about you, Hadi?
Yeah, thank you, Ayman, for a very solid point. Actually, I agree with some part of his explanations opinion. I see where you're going with that point, but I strongly believe that social network also plays a very vital and crucial role in our society in language development today, because a person's speech almost and always reflect the network that they belong to. Right? When a person belongs to more than one social network, they will always unconsciously and naturally change the way they behave, the way they communicate, the way they talk, based on the context. For example, like we usually will adjust the way we communicate with each other. For example, like as you see, my surrounding around, these people around is my social network at home. So when I come to the class, this is my new social network, so I need to behave myself. I need to choose my words wisely. I cannot talk to you guys the same way I talk to my social network at home. Alright, so yeah, I believe in these points plays a big influence, because I myself, I witnessed a case on this. A short story about my nephew named Ziad, a boy. He is currently doing his preschool at QDIS. If you know, QDIS is a private preschool. He so basically the majority of the student is Chinese and Indian. So Zia is Malay. So he behave the way Chinese and Indians behave at home, not just at school. Because he see things, he watch a lot of things happen in the QDIS made by Chinese. So I believe even the children couldn't escape from this. So I believe this social network does influence the language development. So if you refer to the NCG, I can relate this to NCG number 4, which is quality education. Because even though despite I'm demanding Ziad to practice Malay culture, but I quite amazed because he willing to learn, he willing to take part, to take react towards whatever that he's witnessed every day. Right? So that's my opinion on this. Now we move to the next panel, which is FIRDAUS.
I agree with your points, Yanni, because from my perspective, language network is very, very important because the way we grow up and the way we talk is influenced by our surroundings. So from that, if you are urban people like me, if anyone here from KL, you might understand this like because we live in this diversity or many ethnic in one place. Okay, in Ganu you might not experience it or in Kelantan, but as I am from KL, I experience this. I live with many people, India, Chinese, Bangladesh, Myanmar. So the way they talk to me since I was little, if they talk to me, how they talk to me, that's how I perceive it as normal. What you think is normal might not normal to me, because that's how the way I was raised. Okay, so that's why I think it's because of language social network. It will influence your language change. It will result of language change. Like for me, sometimes when I talk, I will still have Chinese influence in when I talk. For example, when I talk, just do it lah. La is not Malay, la is Chinese. Huh? And then sometimes when I talk to doctor, I not call it doctor, I say doctor, because I have Indian friends. Is it how you say? Doctor, something like that. It's because how they speak to me, and I observe it as sponge, like as a children you observe it as a sponge, and you perceive it as normal. So you cannot blame someone when they talk like it's different. For you, it might not nice, but for this normal, you cannot perceive it. The way we were raised, is not the same as how you were raised. Okay, so don't perceive anyone, don't judge anyone. Okay, instead of judging, I think it's better for us to just correct each other. Okay, respectfully, and sometimes when people try to talk, let's say politely, but at the end of the day, they tend to turn back to themselves, which is the way they spoke comfortably, maybe the way how they were raised lah. That's why, like, I agree with Hadi. Social network is affecting us when we grow up. How about you guys?
Yes, I agree. I agree. This is the biggest factor.
So social network for us, for our conclusion, we conclude that social network is the biggest factor that influence us and influence how the way we talk when we grow up. So I think that's all from us.
That's all.
Alright, thank you. So anyone of you have any questions to ask or any, let's say, different opinion from what we talk? You may ask your question.
If I may ask, can I know what examples of toxic masculinity?
So for toxic masculinity, for example, you see a man, he cry, he expresses feelings. Oh, I'm super good, this problem and everything. And then his friend came, you are man up. Why you crying like a girl? That is toxic masculinity. Yes. For example, like Kanye West, he become AMEEN after he cried in public.
So that's why men tend to just hide their feelings because they want to become that. If you woman cry, everybody, oh, girls, stay strong, you can do this, you can do that. But as men, pump, you snap picture, memes. So that's why we don't tend to not, let's say, become weak. Anyone else?
Just for a reminder, it's okay for you to cry.
Yeah, it's okay for you to
Nothing
cry.
wrong with that.
If you have anything, you can talk to me.
Please, one more question, please.
Yeah, communication maybe?
So, do you have anything?
Then, do you have any questions?
Just Bernice.
So in your opinion, that you just now said that it's better for us to change the teachers in the education system, right?
Yes.
So what are your proposals and what are your suggestions that a teacher might have and the aspect that teachers might have to be qualified for the change, like the replacement?
So basically now the system is you have to have either diploma or degree in teaching so that you can enter the education system. This is the most minimum, exclude APG and so on. So I think that this requirement has to be removed because you only having diploma or degree just in teaching is not enough. You have to have a bit higher, or either you need to have two, diploma and degree. It's not either one here. Because now teachers, I believe that a lot of teachers doesn't really emphasize on how they are actually teaching. If you see the teachers, I'm not blaming all the teachers. Maybe there are some who are not professional enough.
Yes. Most of the teachers right now are old. Okay. I'm not saying that they are bad, but they are old. They tend not to care.
Maybe they are patient to teach as paid out.
Sometimes even if they're okay with it, but they just don't care about it. It's up to you. Most of them are just, let's say, leisure fair. Leisure fair type, if you guys don't know what leisure fair type is, just do whatever you want, I don't care. As long as you finish my homework, all that, I'm good. With that. Anyone else? No?
I think that's it.
I think that's it. So let's conclude our forum today. Thank you.